gonna go slow?
I'm gonna go as long as my hamstrings will carry me. So when I pull a hamstring, then I come off the field.
Are you gonna eat chicken before?
Absolutely, got to, man.
Are you gonna eat the Hebrew before? Are you write Hebrew before you go up to bat?
Absolutely.
Baseball fame comes with its glorious moments, but too much of it can go to your head. You end up making some, big mistakes. So did Wade Boggs. But what exactly did he do? This baseball story is surely one for the books. A hitting machine, Wade Boggs. Born in 1958, this guy wasn't just any Nebraska kid. You see, Wade came from a military family, tough as nails. His dad, Winfield, a war hero himself, flew planes for Uncle Sam. Talk about a regimented upbringing. Now, Wade bounced around a bit growing up, like a knuckleball you just can't catch. Puerto Rico, Georgia, finally landed in sunny Tampa, Florida when he was 11. But baseball, that was always his constant. Though believe it or not, he wasn't all diamond dreams. In high school, Wade was an all-state football player too. Quarterback, no less. Can you imagine this guy dodging tackles 1 minute, then cracking rockets the next? But senior year, something changed. Maybe he saw a nasty linebacker coming and decided his baseball future was worth more than a sprained ankle. So he switched positions. A smart move, as it turned out. His kicking skills on the gridiron were so good, though, that the University of South Carolina even offered him a scholarship. But baseball, that was the calling. Drafted by the Boston Red Sox in the 7th round, some might say it wasn't exactly a first-class ticket to the big leagues. But Wade Boggs, he had a different story in mind. We're talking scandals, affairs, the whole 9 yards. You wouldn't believe the stuff that came out about Wade behind closed doors. Secrets, they say, have a way of bubbling up. And let me tell you, this one erupted like a grand slam in the bottom of the 9th. But baseball fame can get to your head, and Boggs wasn't an exception. Let's just say he made a few mistakes. But before we dive into this juicy story, make sure to like and subscribe. Now back to the video. Now back in 1989, things got messy. Turns out Wade had a little something going on the side for 4 whole years with a California mortgage broker named Margot Adams. Can you imagine? Mr. Baseball himself was caught swinging his baseball bat away from home plate. When Wade called it quits with Margot, she wasn't exactly happy. Not happy at all. We're talking a $12 million lawsuit kind of unhappy. Margot claimed Wade promised her a hefty sum for lost income and, well, let's just say companionship during all those road trips. And to top it all off, she spills the beans in a penthouse interview, dishing out all the juicy details. Talk about a home run for the gossip magazines. Of course, Wade wasn't going to take this lying down. He went on the offensive, denying most of Margot's claims. He even went on national TV and sat down with Barbara Walters herself to tell his side of the story. It was a media circus, folks. A real battle between he said, she said. Finally, the court stepped in and threw out most of the lawsuit. But hey, where there's smoke, there's usually fire, right? The whole thing was settled out of court for a hush-hush amount. Let's just say Wade probably learned a valuable lesson about keeping things off the diamond. Sure, the off-field stuff was a bit of a wild pitch, but on the field, Wade Boggs was a hitting machine, a maestro of the bat. Now, you might not believe this, but Boggs actually played in the longest game in professional baseball history. Can you imagine? This was back in the minor leagues, 1981, against Cal Ripken Jr., no less. Lasted for 33 innings, folks, over 8 hours. Talk about a marathon. But that was just a taste of things to come. When Boggs made it to the majors with the Boston Red Sox, he started raking in batting titles like it was his job. 5 of them, to be exact. And get this, his rookie year, he hit a whopping .349. That would have won him the title, but he just fell a few plate appearances short. Tough break, but it showed what this guy was capable of. Year after year, Boggs was a hitting machine. We're talking 7 straight seasons with 200 hits or more, an American League record that only Ichiro Suzuki could top. He could hit for average, he could rack up runs, he could smash doubles. You name it, Boggs could do it. Now, he did have a bit of a slump in '92, but hey, even the best hitters have an off year now and then. But Boggs bounced back, and in a big way. He became a free agent, and guess who came calling? The New York Yankees, the Red Sox arch rivals. Can you imagine the boos in Boston? But Boggs didn't care. He signed with the Yankees and went on a tear. 3 straight All-Star appearances, 4 straight seasons hitting over .300, even snagged a couple Gold Glove awards for his defense. This guy could do it all. And then came 1996, the World Series. The Yankees hadn't won one in 18 years, and Boggs played a key role in changing that. In a crucial game, the Yankees were down by 6 runs, but they clawed their way back to tie it. In the 10th inning, with the bases loaded, the pressure was on. But Boggs, ice in his veins, he drew a walk, forcing in the winning run. The Yankees went on to win the series, and Boggs celebrated in a way that's still talked about today. Jumping on the back of a police horse. Seems even a legend can have a little fun. Boggs finished his career with the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, the expansion team in his hometown. He even hit the first home run in their history. And guess what? His 3,000th hit? A home run too. The first player ever to do it that way. Boggs retired in 1999 with a career batting average of .328 and over 3,000 hits. He's a Hall of Famer, a legend, and a true master of the bat. Sure, there were some bumps along the road, but on the field, Wade Boggs was pure baseball magic. We can't talk about Wade Boggs without mentioning his larger-than-life personality. This guy wasn't just a hitting machine, he was a pop culture icon.
Lord Palmerston!
Hit the elder.
Lord Palmerston!
Hit the elder!
Okay, you asked for it, Boggs!
Remember The Simpsons? Yeah, Boggs even made it to Springfield. Mr. Burns recruited him to play softball for the power plant team, hoping to win big. Let's just say things didn't exactly go according to plan. Turns out Barney Gumble had a strong opinion on British prime ministers, and Boggs ended up flat on his face after a bar brawl. Talk about a curveball, right? And get this, Boggs even showed up on Cheers. He was sent to the bar as a peace offering, but the regulars thought he was a fake. Apparently, there was some confusion about a certain pair of undergarments. Let's just say Cheers writer Ken Levine spilled the tea years later, claiming Boggs promised to bring back Kirstie Alley's panties. But, well, let's just use our imaginations. Seinfeld fans, you're not left out either. Remember the episode where George tries to convince the Yankees to switch to cotton uniforms? Yeah, Boggs was quoted as saying, "What a fabric. Finally, we can breathe." Seems like even a legend appreciates a little comfort. But the biggest legend of all might be the story of Boggs and the epic number of beers he supposedly drank on a cross-country flight. The number itself is a mystery. Some say 64, but Boggs himself denies it. Then there's the Psych episode where Boggs himself bumps the number up to 73. Crazy, right? The whole thing became such a running joke that even It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia poked fun at it. The gang tries to outdrink Boggs on a plane with hilarious and sometimes confusing results. Apparently, some folks haven't seen Dukes of Hazzard and think Boss Hogg is a baseball player. And Boggs, the good sport that he is, even appeared on the show later. He even admitted that if you count post-flight celebrations, the real number might be closer to 107. Even in retirement, Boggs stays connected to the game. He even did some fill-in commentary for the Red Sox. And let's not forget his cameo on Good Mythical Morning. Seems like Wade Boggs is a man of many talents on and off the field. Sure, he might have surprised everyone by pulling double duty as a pitcher on a couple of occasions. Shut out an inning with the Yankees even. Talk about a curveball no one saw coming. And even in retirement, he stays connected to the game, showing up for Old Timers Day with the Yankees. But Boggs' real legacy is on the field. He was a master of mental preparation, visualizing success and getting himself in the zone. That's what made him a hitting machine. And successful he was. He had seasons where his average was practically untouchable, racked up hits left and right, and even drove in a ton of runs in a single game. Both the Red Sox and the Devil Rays retired his jersey numbers, a true honor for a player who gave his all to the game. The Red Sox even inducted him into their Hall of Fame. And let's not forget Boggs' quirks. He was a creature of habit with his pregame chicken. Jim Rice even called him Chicken Man for it, his specific wake-up time, his lucky number for sprints. He even drew a Hebrew symbol in the batter's box before every at-bat, even though he wasn't Jewish. Hey, whatever works, right? And who can argue with that batting average? That's it for this one. If you're a fan of baseball, mind checking out our video on Babe Ruth?